Alonzo Thompson Lincoln, nicknamed Lonnie, is the Harlem born and bred crime boss and enforcer Tombstone, first appearing in Web of Spider-Man number 36 in 1987. Born in Harlem, New York, his albinism made him a target of bullies in his local area and left him a complete outcast. The only student who wasn't cruel to Lonnie was Joe Robbie Robertson. Lonnie took this lack of cruelty as a sign of friendship. In an effort to protect himself from bullies, Lonnie began working out intensely. This then resulted in him becoming so strong that he took on the role of school bully himself. After school, Lonnie moved to Philadelphia, where he then continued his bullying nature and became a mob enforcer. After living in Philadelphia for many years and going to prison numerous times, he had a daughter named Janice. Despite his poor moral behaviour, he was, in all measurable ways, a good father to Janice, despite not always teaching her the right from the wrong. Lonnie was later hired to work for Wilson Fisk by his arranger. This meant he and his family moved back to New York. When Robbie Robinson attempted to get Tombstone arrested for multiple murders he'd committed back in Philadelphia, Tombstone took this personally and crippled Robbie. However, the evidence Robbie had already been given to the photographer at the Daily Bugle, Peter Parker. This led Tombstone to being incarcerated. After a daring escape, he found himself in need of new employment, so he began working for the crime boss Hammerhead. After Hammerhead demanded Robertson die because of his relationship with Lonnie, Tombstone kidnapped Robbie and took him to a chemical plant. In an attempt to escape, Robbie locked Tombstone in a chamber. This chamber then flooded with Diox 3 gas, which mutated Tombstone, leaving him virtually indestructible and also made him superhumanly strong. It was at this point Tombstone decided he was no longer content to be the muscle for someone else's operation and instead decided to try and take power for himself, and began his transition from hired muscle to crime boss in his own right. Eventually, after many years, Tombstone was able to have his own slice of the city to run. However, this wasn't the end of Tombstone's drama, having to constantly battle with the likes of Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. More recently, Tombstone's family life has become messy, as his daughter Janice is now engaged to be married to his longtime rival Robbie Robinson's son Randy. Deciding to let bygones be bygones for their children to have a chance at happiness, Robbie and Lonnie were finally able to bury the hatchet all the way back from their high school days.